Hello!
Hi.
We're here. We were briefly away because I had to do a convention for work. Back to Disco Elysium.
We continue the Inferno.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think about what all we did. We did a fair bit. We learned about reality.
Yeah. We should open up the task menu.
Yeah, we should. Alright.
I don't remember what we left off on.
Task menu time. So there's things that have to, okay, like we can go to this fishing village we know. Other things that we know, or things, we can try and get established authority in the Hardy Boys' eyes, which we never actually said that Everart said to cooperate with us. We could pursue that.
We could do that, I guess. Can't do that till Wednesday.
Right.
Can't do that
till Wednesday. So things that we have. The armor of the dead guy. Figuring out the victim tattoo. Finding where our badge is. Now, we all talk about, like, oh, the badge is probably lost somewhere in the world. I bet somebody has it.
Yeah.
Somebody has picked it up, because that's how...
Maybe you'll just stumble across it down the line.
Right. I don't know if it'll be down... Like, somebody has that fucking thing. Same thing with our gun, and we know that somebody pawned our gun.
Right.
Or we pawned our gun and somebody bought it. Who made the call to 911 is a good question. Later tonight at 9 p.m. we're going back to talk to the smoker on the balcony.
Right.
So those are our main things. Also, we can do the drug mystery to try and
we're kind of in the drug mystery.
Yeah.
At the moment.
We didn't really ask any one of the other drivers about the scary lady.
No. I guess we could do that or try Titus again.
Yeah, or both.
It's not even noon on day 2.
Yeah, we got time. We got time, a crowbar, and that. We could also open up the mysterious curtain.
I was looking through a job board recently, actually, and Zom Studios did have an opening.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for like, it was like not for something I was qualified for, it was like a senior position.
Okay.
I was like, what could this team work on next?
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Heard one of the drivers here is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
Why, do you know something? What is it? I don't mean to pry. I need help.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
Who's this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now I see why.
What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Ah, that is... I mean, that is fair in logic. I don't know that...
Don't press on one.
Yeah.
That's not going to get anywhere.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
Okay.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Believe us.
She's got the darkness in her.
Okay.
That young person's darkness won't think
Okay.
it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Alright, the darkness.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
You're not afraid of her?
Yeah, that's the most
I heard
interesting.
the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Hold on, her
The
mind?
way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
The pain it was causing her.
Oh.
She left. Did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Push Tommy, and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son. It's right here. The answer is right here. You just need to ask him. Come on, do it.
You want to be compassionate to Tommy or get it out of him?
I feel like,
If we don't get it out of Tommy, we're probably gonna have to talk to that racist asshole again.
yeah. But I'd rather be friends with Tommy and yell at a racist guy again.
Okay.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
I like how most people's portraits look like fairly simple, fairly direct painted portraits, except with like weird stylized backgrounds. But Tommy's very clearly looks like a mugshot.
Mm-hmm. Alright, fucko.
Looking for something?
So does this one, come to think of it.
Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
So who does? The lady driver?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark gong. You get a bad feeling about it. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Alright.
Yeah, him.
Cross your arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
Alright.
Oh, okay, King, you're leaning in on the conspiracy angle.
I
huh?
see.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
Alright, Kim.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorryman and Carter's Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Holy fuck, Kim.
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The sentence simply
The
ends.
lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it.
No, he doesn't.
Half-Light has it on this one. Come
Half-Light.
on, XCOM.
Men like
Yes.
this
Yeah.
only respect two things. Strength and fear.
You better believe it, and I'm loaded with both.
Time to turn up the volume.
Show me her lawyer right fucking now. The lady driver's lawyer. Where is it?
Where's the trigger? Oh,
You, I told you, I'm not
I
gonna...
kinda-
There. His voice grows smaller.
fuck you for the rest of my life.
I've been your fucking lawyer. I know where it is. I'm gonna burn it down. You hear me?
I feel like all of these will work. It's just a question of...
Whoops. I mean, this is the funny one. This is the most just lying. For the rest of my life. You got a preference?
You choose.
Alright. I'm gonna go on police radio saying this guy told Madre to fuck off. Burn it down.
Fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
So you
This.
censor the F word, but not the D word. Weird. Because like he's using it in the derogatory way.
Yeah. Okay, where exactly is
Past the
Mallory, though?
monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck
We got to grab this guy.
A small
Fuck yeah.
temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
All right.
Right, going. Let's go, Kim. Let's roll. You gotta run like the 41st, though. We run here, boys! Past the monument. Green banged up thing. Which would make me think it's this, but there's
Or is
no
that
other-
Silang's lorry?
I thought his was the one with the lights on. Because I figured he'd have the lights on in his merch. But also I figured the tempo... Oh, there's the... Okay. Can we just drop down from here? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Kim, did we just pretend to be part of the mob? I think we did. Ah, here we go. This looks right.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins.
Oh, I know,
moving
'cause it's
overhead.
tempo,
It's
right?
seen better days.
Or, oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Contemporary.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
Trying to peek in the
The
window.
glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and two steering levers.
Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
How are you gonna get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
All right. Physical instruments got this.
Oh,
Probably.
Look, if Kim said to do it, it's probably great.
With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar.
Say fuck
glint
the
of light catches you on the
police.
tip.
And
Pull
then,
down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
Fuck the police.
fuck the police, and then smash
The window shatters, and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering
the
over
achievement
Biggest
biggest
communism builder.
Subtle.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Check the
You
pedals.
wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver.
Oh, hey, it's TJ's desk.
Fuck you! Fuck off! What are you talking about?
Until you cleaned it recently.
Yeah, I cleaned it. The fucking yeah. Go. Oof. Oh boy.
Sorry, was that too
But
much?
one odd detail
No,
does catch your eye.
it's not too
A
much.
piece of
It's
sandpaper
patently
has been glued
inaccurate.
to the throttle.
You make. I do not casually throw things.
No.
I just place a lot of things and then don't deal with them. And that's entirely different. I don't lose things. There's the organization. Look, just cause shit on my desk isn't at perpendicular angles and doesn't live in trays, don't mean that shit is unorganized. I have a system. And the system is called there's one pile. And if everything is in the one pile, you know where it is. Also, hi, Leo.
Yes, I'm being a bully.
Yeah. Sandpaper.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
It looks like the driver's glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle, offers some extra grip.
Sandpaper. A novel technique.
Back up to the
The
cabin
movie
again.
stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the
It's
newspaper.
an issue of Periphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
The
Interesting.
Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The
Well,
rest
we're definitely going to
is
examine
as
the
it
radio
was.
then.
Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed. Likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why do you need so many?
Why,
For
yeah.
contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Might as well look if there could be a Shawshank.
Sure.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Na 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 na.
The
Study the
actress is
centerfold.
draped
Na
in
na
a
na.
sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly.
Okay.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to
Alright, we
the
got it.
rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Sure.
Yep.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found. So we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like
That's
something the
something
police would do.
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
Agreed.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Trying to think what ULAN could mean. Like,
I
mean,
LAN is
obviously
LAN is
local area
local
network.
network, but that's probably not true in this case.
yeah.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station. A worrying prospect.
Ultra low amplitude?
Maybe. Ultra low amplitude network? How do you think this is connected to the Union? Or will the RCM open an
We should
investigation?
return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The
What are you
fact that
thinking?
one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
How do you think this is connected to the Union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the
That's
smuggling
true.
operation. But somehow, I doubt that Everard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose.
I agree with both of those statements.
My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor in all?
You could ask him that just to annoy
Johnny
him.
Bravo.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled.
Desire.
Desire always plays a role.
Maybe the trader's some sort of cinephile.
Yes, well,
That doesn't matter to Kim.
Unimportant.
Okay, debrief over.
debrief over, after you.
Let's get back to Joyce.
All right. So probably
Because
tell her-
the lynching info is what we are in town for, so we should
Yeah.
probably prioritize that.
I mean, I'm here for the clothes. The fashion.
Just let me work a little. I'm really good.
We could make the case that Harry Dubois is here for something that isn't solving the case.
Right. Well, that's what he was sent here on the auspices of, I guess.
Yeah. How's the audio, by
Is
the
that the
way?
right word, auspices?
I think it is a right word. Some things.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little viewer.
Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Bottle. I'm glad we got to threaten a racist. I'm glad that happened.
Harry Dubois is 2 for 2 on racists
Yeah.
in this game.
It's one of the most successful. We are currently our understands that we're the last
We
communist.
are the last communist.
Also, hi Farjago. Farjago does Spyro speedruns.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I watched a few videos about that recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Spoke with Lorman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't
Oh, you
afford
have
to be blind at a
point
time
so
like
you can,
this.
Yeah.
You can forget one of those things.
Or we can do even better. We could add a slot.
That's true. And we could focus on
Coach physical instrument.
-2 encyclopedia.
Don't
for the
need
next,
it.
For the next 40 minutes
Don't need it.
of an intense workout.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest.
Oh,
Now it's my turn.
that is a shockingly reasonable. I mean, she's going to ask us for more, right?
Yes,
Like-
Joyce Messier has been strangely cooperative and helpful.
Like almost suspiciously so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Between the lynching and the strike.
I think we can ask both of these.
Yeah, what was that about, a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
What a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
So that does add up with what Titus told
Yeah.
us.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
No wonder.
Yeah.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So everything we heard was probably true then.
Oh no. So they're well armed, well defended, and unstable.
And unstable, and probably what the Hardy Boys told us was correct.
Probably mostly true.
Or at least moderately
So,
correct.
what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
That jives with their story, but their story also didn't add up.
Had weird holes in it, yeah.
Yeah.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Independent military tribunal?
What?
Independent military tribunal?
Choice, what the
The
fuck?
army is just... Wait, no, not the army. The private military contractor is just going to decide who did it and then kill whoever they think they... What?
Joyce, what the fuck?
Joyce, what the shit?
Holy fuck, Joyce!
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already...
Probably.
I have to say, this is
not
not
disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
Wait, we still use muzzle loaders in this universe?
Yeah, wait. What? Is this the actual 30s and 40s?
Even the 30s and 40s had cartridge weapons.
Well, that's true.
Cartridge weapons are as old as the Civil War.
Yeah.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Okay, so the conceit is if we can find, or the unstated, construct a single perpetrator,
Right.
we could perhaps avoid a civil war.
And the weird thing is, Joyce's priority is not that it's the right person, but that it's one person.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah.
Maybe a good bloodletting is just what Martinez
No,
needs.
No!
Half-Life!
Half-Light? What the fuck?
Houses drenched in red, blood gushing down Rue de Saint-Cispar. The whole place mopped with a giant red rag. Fresh bullet holes for all the old buildings.
Wash it nice and clean.
Ugh.
It
Shut
will
up.
not be a pretty sight.
Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Yes. I mean, I think the confrontation is inevitable.
It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia.
You know what? You've got me there.
One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
All right, we've got this is a lot of info to learn.
This is a lot to take in, Joyce.
Joyce,
this is both incredibly helpful.
this is possibly the worst it could be. Also, why the fuck are Cornell allowed to do this?
Because there is no government to care.
I guess so. Yeah, that's the the great downfall of anarcho-communism.
Right. There's no institutional. But we have to basically somehow get an institutional power involved to stop a private military contractor. Oh.
What can you tell me about Cornell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Ah, I like that game.
It's a good game.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
There are fourth world countries in this
Millions
universe?
are used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay.
Anything
Sadly,
else?
No. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
We might need to do it soon.
Yeah. How long does a tribunal take?
You know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man.
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Did you contact the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
I mean, this is an important point because, like, the guy had it coming.
But we also need to get the story straight.
Yeah.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal.
Okay, so we don't...
I cannot testify by it.
Okay.
So it's hearsay.
Who did the passing on, then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What'd these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
So, the first time Titus told us that, I thought he might have been like just.
I thought he was straight lying.
Yeah, or laying it on too thick. But like, if it's accepted truth, but also nobody's going to say who it was because it's private.
Yeah. It's still weird.
Yeah.
It's still weird.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
If it didn't actually happen, then it might really just be a rumor that got around town.
Right.
But we need to know for sure.
Which someone like Everard would probably have the power to make spread. Which would implicate Everard, which we don't actually have a connection.
Also, keep in mind, most of the people working in this town have been drunk off their asses for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been getting spiked borscht.
So, like, there might be misinformation, disinformation,
Yeah.
stuff that just isn't true.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Which is tough, because it does in some ways make several of them actually guilty.
Yeah.
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
Oh, no.
Where are the 2 remaining mercs
What?
now?
Why did the original bartender leave? It was something Harry did, right?
She said that, yes.
Okay.
Could she be...
Well, she specifically talked to Harry and said it
Yeah.
was something he did, so I don't think it's
So
her.
it couldn't be the... Yeah, it's probably not her. Unless... And this is gonna sound wildly stupid. Unless we're the Colonel, and a man named Harry Dubois, who was an investigator, got murked, or something weird like that.
I mean, that did cross my mind, but like, we can't operate on that.
I know, it's just, it's ridiculous.
If that is the twist, then like, we can't work from there.
But that would be like, you don't have a badge, and what if there is a badge for a Harry Dubois and it's not your picture?
Yeah. What if you didn't sell your gun? What if Harry Dubois sold his gun and you never had a gun?
Because when we looked at the bullet holes on the firing line, like, pain threshold had a reaction.
Yeah.
And I thought that reaction meant that that Raphael Cousteau had in their past real combat experience. Wartime combat
He also
experience.
responds weirdly to the chair, the painful chair, which is like a common way to torture people, is to leave them tied to a chair.
Is like, and then it gets in the idea of like, what is it that we wanted to forget so badly?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But it was something serious enough to want to, as the game put it, trigger self-annulment.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an impossible... We have no real evidence to go off of, but it's not an impossible conclusion.
Pain Threshold also piped up about the poster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody that we maybe knew? No, that was electrochemistry.
Electrochemistry piped up about the poster. Let's keep going with the questions.
Yeah. Where are the remaining 2
They've gone
mercs?
to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
Fuck. I bet we can say who... I bet we know who bought the gun. It's probably one of the other 2 mercs, right?
One of them. Oh, right, she described herself as a pig.
And scary, and was apparently very scary.
Yeah.
That would be a special forces.
She is a
ceramic
cop in
armor.
her own way.
Oh, hello!
Hello, Mimi.
Hello!
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Have you seen my physical instrument score?
You should show those meatheads.
Yeah, Half-Light.
Savage, you really are.
We need to know where they are.
We still need to know.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
What are the odds of Logic getting that one?
Pretty good.
Half. I mean, that would be a very important lead. I feel like we should try it.
Let's go for it.
No.
This is so embarrassing. You have no idea. There's something wrong with your brain. Luckily, the lieutenant still has his.
Ma'am, with all due respect, I've been around Martinez, and there's a giant hulk of a man in ill-fitting clothes at the Harbor Base.
Okay.
Mr. Right to work. His heart really isn't in it.
Yep.
Not a terribly good actor, that one. Still.
And the other must be in one of the 4-story buildings overlooking the roundabout. He or she was reporting back to you while we were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That would afford a good vantage point. Still, I hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
Go back up to that. Scroll back up there for a sec.
What?
So it's one of them is Mr. Right to Work.
One of them's Mr. Right to Work.
Yeah.
The other is in one of the 4-story buildings, which could be Mr. Martinez.
No, he's overlooking the backyard. He's not looking at the roundabout.
Oh, yeah.
We might meet them when we cross the canal.
Yeah.
The colonel was hanged. Do you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What kind of radio operator?
What would you say was his eye color? The deceased's.
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to.
Pain threshold,
thank you,
pain
Pain
threshold
Threshold.
sympathizes because we also have trouble with facial expression.
Yeah. Or do we?
Or do we? How much time do we have?
We're just doing the one.
Until the executions start. Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Well,
I'm gonna guess until Sunday.
yeah,
that
a
would be-
week seems kind of like a...
Right.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Tattoos.
Tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet, observe.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Oh.
Okay. Like blooms in a pattern.
Close. Port cities. This is an Oranese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
That might be a reference to Polynesian culture. Polynesian maps are made like that. Yeah.
Interesting. It could be
So,
helpful.
I don't remember if Tatao is actually used for maps. I have seen maps where it's like, I took a class on this in college. A map is not like a piece of paper with markings on it. It
It's
is
like beads or something,
Yeah,
yeah?
it's like a set of beads on a set of sticks or strings, and like you follow, not particularly distances, but like numbers of beads. Not numbers of beads, but like particular beads tell you certain things about what's between 2 points,
Okay.
like distance and time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very bad explanation, but like a non-European map is what they're trying to tell you about it.
What's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Challenge accepted.
No physical.
I say we do it.
Well, some other sailor might tell you.
Yeah. Mark it down, though.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
What's that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
Okay.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Maybe
Huh.
like
So
on-ground battles or
so-
something?
Possibly. Theaters of war he's been in.
Yeah. That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I don't think so. We could ask about reality.
If you
but
want.
I don't think we have anything we need to know about.
No. You got a point?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go get a drink real quick.
All right. You got any feelings?
I think point to something that you think we might use in the future.
Oh, you're done. Got it. Got it, coach. How much time do we have? Oh, we're so close. We are so close.
Coach physical.
We're so close to Coach Physical Instrument.
Physical instrument is his name. That is the personality's name. Is physical instrument.
Yes. And it is our most powerful personality trait. Alright. Could the lady also be... The lady driver also be our merc? Radio operator?
Maybe.
Big radio?
Well, radio operator in military parlance doesn't always mean that. It'd be a little weird for those two things to overlap because everybody's talking about a lady driver that they've known for a while.
I suppose.
Yeah,
What if she has tattoos of the roadways?
maybe.
Alright. Fishing village seems like where we'd find that out.
Right.
We could ask Gart.
You could ask the scab leader about the tattoos. Oh.
Yes, but that's a dangerous one.
Yeah. Open that menu again. Oh, wait.
I certainly can do that.
You might ask.
It won't count as one of the people informing you about tattoos, but it could be interesting.
I feel like Gart might have more to say now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Also, that dude over there is asking.
Hey, officer, got a minute? Yes. We do.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
I mean, this is true. We only searched it.
Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who'd tell on her. But is she in trouble?
Sorry, man.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
I really don't know.
Damn. I always warned her to watch herself. Man. Nothing to do now, I guess. Maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Tommy Leon, beat poet.
Good luck with that, Tommy.
Yeah,
Gotta run.
you too. Be safe, detective.
You know what? Interact. I could interact with the
You
envelope.
take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Try to find a loophole in the deal.
Kim?
What do you think of
I'm
this?
no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not the perfect solution, but
The youth
Yeah.
center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall.
Once we're done with our coach physical instrument, maybe
Yeah.
that's the time to.
That might be the time to try logic. I feel like we might jump a few points.
We interacted with that. I wonder if we have more we
An
can do now.
intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man. The pattern still kind of has
Oh,
an
not
ethnic
really.
feel to it, but nothing familiar.
All right. Yeah, because the Hardy Boys explicitly mentioned that some of this happened in the Whirling in Rags. Now, Gart wasn't working there.
No.
We could call that lady up and ask her
Could
if
we?
she saw anything.
Didn't they explicitly say we could never call her again?
I don't know. She asked us not to, I think.
Alright.
Can I help you?
I saw another thing.
Thing.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
There's a mysterious
Blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what's behind it? Do you have?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably.
But you don't know. But you don't know.
I'm a little surprised you don't know, Gart.
Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage.
And yet here we are.
And yet here we are.
So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
So the phone line's dead?
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
That's pretty strange.
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
True that there was foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources.
Be dishonorable.
Fine, yeah, it looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill.
God, it sounds nice that I could go into the kitchen. Why can't I go into the kitchen?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
Maybe I am a cook? Maybe something pertinent to the
He
event.
wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must. Yes.
That's all. Here we go.
Coach physical instrument. Wait, how did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot-put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins.
All right. Bonus.
Plus
Plus 2
2
physical instrument. If shirt slot is empty. Yeah.
-1 encyclopedia facts armament of cards.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun, dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun.
Actually, I would feel like... Well, no, because +1 is inferior to +2.
Yes. We're now more powerful. I'm gonna rip this door off its hinges right now.
Oh man, I would love if that were... Oh, also we can read that letter again.
Oh,
The
yeah.
card's physical instrument is
You
wrapped up.
see a heavy steel
Damn it.
door. with
Try to push on the door.
Does not budge. A challenge.
Pull on the door
The
hard.
steel doesn't even tremble.
Put your weight
Now
into it.
You're hanging from the handle. The door remains immobile. Okay, it was a challenge,
Oh, dang,
and
damn
you
it.
failed. What now, loser?
Heal morale and try something else later.
Lee.
Well,
Dang.
Damn, I thought that would be progress for sure. You can read the letter again.
Yeah. We have less of a penalty.
You take the legal documents out of
Still
the
28.
envelope.
Let's go for
12
it.
to 40.
Whoa!
The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Look, Kim, these people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already
be gone?
Well, you can't do it today because he'll be smart enough to know
Yeah.
that you've done it too early.
However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
Thank you for pointing out that loophole, Kim.
Yeah. Although it would be really funny to let you get caught in your trap that way.
I mean, I guess you could do that now
if you
really
went to
want,
Everard,
if you
he's
want
like,
to.
"Are you serious?
Are you fucking with me?
Harry Dubois?
Is fucking with me?
I know you didn't go there."
Digital homicide!
Man, we've gotten some really good low checks, but we're terrible at even checks.
Yeah. But somewhere private where you feel safe enough to sleep.
I mean, that makes sense.
It is past noon on day 2.
Yep. Alright.
What's to do before the smoker thing?
We could go talk to... we could go fucking talk to, Oh.
What?
I know where the other person is. I'll bet they're in here. I'll bet they're one of these
Old
weird
code
ones.
box with
Like
a
Slipstream.
matrix of push buttons lists all the companies.
think
in the
Slipstream might
East
actually
Delta
be a
Commerce
ghost.
Center.
Main hall building A?
No, hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget
Alright.
it. Find something else to do. An
Info.
off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
Oh.
Please, it's me.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
Oh,
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Well, you tried all of these, so...
All you hear is static, but nothing happens after you ring the door. You're going to just stand there and take it from a doorbell?
I don't
You-
really
you
don't know.
already
The
did that.
doorbell
Yeah.
agrees. The entire call box look.
Alright. But that's like a 4-story. I would presume. I'm so buff right now.
What you might actually, I mean, like, there's no specific lead that points us here, but like we might browse the interior of that apartment complex and see, and see if anyone else wants to talk.
Yeah, we didn't do much in there.
No, we were kind of beelining for Mr. Martinez. Or I guess try to rip open Plaisance' curtains.
I mean, I do want to do that. I do really want to do that. I have no reason to do it. I also want to look at that wall. Ma'am.
The door. The chair is wood, but your ass is iron.
Iron beats wood. Postcard.
Boogie Street 46.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
Knock?
The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side.
Knock again?
A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
No, that's not the the phrase. Leave?
Okay,
You hear some a poor.
Do I have to open the door?
Oh.
Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then. Entering this door seems a physical challenge.
Ah, I do like physical challenge.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
Examine
It's
the
a
padlock.
solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Okay. I mean, I should be able to do it anyway. I'm so good at everything. Look at my physical instrument score. Wait. Oh. Oh, do I have
That's
to?
grayed out.
I have to leave.
That's slightly annoying.
I get it.
This door has been closed with a
42.
padlock.
Oh,
A
it's
chalk-drawn number
interfacing.
on the- What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
These chain cutters are broken, Kim.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
Kim pointed out the
Plus
shack.
one. If this blows it again, then we should just leave.
What are
Bye.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut. Perhaps you should give it another go.
No, that's too humiliating.
We're gonna die trying to cut open this door. Oh. I could rip that door off its hinges, though. Kim, I could go through the drywall like the gosh darn Kool-Aid man.
I wonder if there are any statistical traps in this game. Trap builds. Snoring is scary somehow. Oh.
We might have been in here already. Ah, magnesium.
Commodore Red Alcohol.
More physique, less morale.
Drops morale, but
We're not
raises
gonna use
physique.
it. Also, we really shouldn't be using alcohol if we can help it.
Electrochemistry is just gonna love it.
That's the problem. We need to keep electrochemistry on a tight leash, I'd say.
This door is made of metal and appears to be
Oh, number
reinforced.
28 was the one that...
That's the one in question, yes.
Yes. Some buoyant dance tracks. I'm not sure why my thought halo has stayed around constantly. With no thoughts.
Head empty.
Head empty. Not really. Other than if we forced our way in or found another way to get some interfacing score up to... I could put on my interfacing gloves. Maybe, but that's about all I could do. Oh yeah, that's the Weasel's house.
Yeah. I still think that's a setup.
I do too. We could talk to Everard, but without having a plan in place for what the...
For the letter, yeah.
For the letter, that seems redundant.
It's too soon to talk to Everard. I guess you could go to Titus and tell him that Everard told you to cooperate, but...
Yeah, might as well.
I don't really know if that'll make any headway.
Probably not. Ooh, $2. $2
$2. I like the weird conglomeration of, like, Earth terms or, like, slightly offbeat, like, slightly thesaurused Earth terms in this game. Like, they're not centrists, they're moralists.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the dollar, it's the real.
It's not a camera. I forgot what the camera is called, though. Here's one thing I'm going to do while I'm here. I forgot that's the thing that we can do, is we can map. And it's all the checks that we have. Horseback Monument, Damage Ledger.
Kim Kitsuragi, logic, formidable.
It's... Measure head, we're not doing that one. Gaston Martin.
Authority check is godly.
Yeah. Let's talk to him while we're here.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Established authority. Will not work.
Oh no, you already told him that. Oops.
Did I?
Yeah, it says he says I told you already.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
Yeah, that's it.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
I would never tell on someone. Why don't you push me some more and find out?
Don't admit you're being pushed, and don't say very mature.
Yeah.
Huh.
I would never.
I would, though.
Typical Bino Claude. Always a tattletale. Everard sent word you two would be around again. That's the only reason I'm being so forthcoming with you.
Okay, so
Don't
we did
wear
technically get plus from that.
2%.
Do we want to try and establish authority?
I feel like
Fail?
that might suck. No.
I'll take off now.
I appreciate that, like, this game doesn't push us in, like, clearly delineated quest directions.
Yeah.
Stuff is just here. And, like, the checks help us to draw lines and conclusions, but, like, we don't have to.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Fix.
The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Hi, Connie. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Attempt to stop the expression.
Expression. We need to improve electrochemistry,
hangs
which
on
I'm
the
worried
bathroom
about
wall.
for
In it,
Can't test that yet.
for obvious reason. Although, I don't know, maybe next time. We don't need... Lord knows we need no more physical instrument.
No.
Or do
9.
9, though.
We can't even do that much beyond, like, I guess we could get up to 13 if we
You
really
don't
wanted
know
to.
that.
But, like, what would we even use a 13 physical instrument for?
For busting heads. for
If it didn't get through that steel door, what else would it do?
the door is closed.
We'll get through that door. I don't need to go through the steel door. Knock again, what hard.
Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. You should punch a fucking hole in it.
Punch the door.
You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. The door sits sturdily in the frame, and your fist hurts.
This is all
This
a
is
very
all a
good,
very good,
normal
normal
thing
thing
to
to
do.
Not to mention, great.
Exercise.
Shut up.
Stop that.
Alright, Kim, you win.
Maybe we should ask him for tips, I guess.
We could ask him
I'm kind of
about
out
these.
of...
Yes?
I'm kind of out of
What
priorities.
do you want to know? Good.
Still don't know that.
Nope. Nothing.
Huh. I don't really know how to spend these next 6 hours or so.
Ooh, you could buy a book.
Suppose so. Or
Fast
aren't you carrying magazines? Can't you read the magazine? Isn't that how?
Maybe. Yeah, no worries. This is a good game to experience blind, so totally get it. Oh, thank you! Thank you very much. Mighty kind.
La Fumée.
The face of King Fleecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth.
If everyone
even
reading
when
this
that truth
donated
may
just
drive away
2 real.
subscribers.
Love. So what you're telling
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
I think this is a communist magazine. Or play it cool. Pretend everything's over.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on international developments.
Yeah.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
I'm gonna guess that's like
You
NATO
also
or
skip over an
OPEC,
article
maybe?
about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara. Book riots in Yugograd.
Book
Face it,
riots.
you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
Damn.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Alright. Time to go get a book from...
Okay, so the magazine does not count.
No.
You need a proper book.
Who knows, we might even get ideas.
True. I wonder if you'll get a detective idea from a detective book.
Gift books and molten candy.
The display
She
rack
slept
is
in the
brimming with
sunshine.
wallpaper
Ah.
packs featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding
Yo,
barbarian
yo.
on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere. This is entirely
Completely, yes.
You have found
The right book.
Books. Tell me about the Muscle Man books.
Oh, Man from Hyamdal. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so
Blood and
popular?
violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good.
H. Rider Haggard.
Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyamdalaman, the man from Hyamdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
I want to buy the book.
Hyamdal
Oh
Man
yes,
book.
certainly. Another good sale.
rows and rows of Hyamdalamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyamdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyamdal. Return to Hyamdal. And the Solipsistic. Man
From Hyamdal and the Hyamdal.
Hyamdal Man.
Good God, how many are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Hyamdal and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyamdal and the false god. Man from Hyamdal and the scorched earth.
Fuck, I want to read Man from Hyamdal and the Snow
The
Crabs.
Hyamdal colonies.
I mean, this
Man
is true.
from
There are
Hyamdal
so many
and the
fucking
Sword
Conan
Beast.
books. Kind of
Man
like
from
Xanth
Hyamdal
books. Like,
and the snow crabs.
Yeah.
Piers Anthony writes, like, just the Xanth book now because
Yeah.
the publisher doesn't really seem to want anything else. So there's,
Yeah.
there's like 50 of them.
Those snow crabs are worse than they sound.
Yo.
Is that all?
Is that all?
Not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell. Man from Hyamdal and the forest of slaves. Man from Hyamdal
Jesus.
under the lake. Man from Hyamdal. Hyamdal burning. There's even the trial of death. A pastoral combat game book.
There's a
set
White
in the
Wolf
world
book.
of Hyamdal.
Yeah.
So much more.
Pain threshold. Do any of these books call out to me?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Ow.
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyamdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man.
There's a lot of jokes you can make here.
She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyamdalaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyamdal and the Devil Woman.
The incel answer, or...
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyamdal novels.
I want to buy Man from Hyamdal and the Devil Woman.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
Okay, well now we've got to make a bit more money to pay for...
No. We have all that we need. I will go broke.
Well, turn your stuff into the tearing machine first, and then we can skip time ahead
Done.
with a gripping Man from Helmdall novel.
Do we want to start with the good introduction or the one that literally spoke to a part of our fractured psyche?
Well, let's try to read the books in order.
I don't think there's an order.
Man from Helmdall. I like how you can ask, is that all? No.
No.
Three times in a row.
No, you idiot. It's not all the man.
Something
from
I didn't know
Helmdall.
of for a long time is that H. Rider Haggard in real life was like an enormous mama's boy, and he
The
lived with
tin
his
machine
mother for
stands
most
in
of
the
his
corner.
life.
A sign says, "Your bottles clunk into
Man
the
with,
machine."
like, he wrote
and
some of the
money
most
appears with a
testosterone-infused
satisfying
books in the
jingle.
world, and he lived with
You're
his
a
mom.
richer man now.
So start with the man from Helmdall.
Makes sense.
The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Yelmdar standing atop
Yes.
of bloody corpses.
Two
His
Zweihanders.
Zweihanders.
are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore.
Hell yeah.
Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold
Two-handers.
G-Man from Helmdall. How come your mom lets you have two Zweihanders?
Like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair.
Yes, Boris Vallejo.
These images speak to something burbling deep within you. Quick, find someone or something that needs to be gutted, beheaded,
Look at the back cover.
impaled on a spike. The back blurb reads, "His latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Heimdall saga. Meet man from Heimdall, his faithful blood brother Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet. For the
Northlands. For
Heimdall."
Helmdall.
Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Eelndal and the Necromancer's Treasure. Man from Eelndal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Eelndal, the Curse of Nakthera.
It's
Noctera.
Read the first couple of pages.
The story opens in media res.
Yes.
The man from Heimdall and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering whites, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses. By nightfall, only the man from Heimdall and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. "It is an honor to die by your side, brother," Tyribald cries, as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades.
Oh, they're
Well, I'm in trouble now.
9, Tyribald. The man from Heimdall bellows over the army of flesh and bone. "Have courage for the Northlands. For Heimdall."
I know what the
He
next
leaps to the
stream
left
title's
on
going
the
to be.
For
like
Heimdall.
Fidder, and like a mad
Stream
ice
from
bear,
Heimdall.
warrior twin Zweihanders
Sturm und Drang.
drag through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer.
You're all trash.
And you're a letter.
And with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors.
Skip ahead.
A few chapters later, the man from Heimdall and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seek to at narratively convenient moments. The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Heimdall to rid his kingdom of the Nakthera, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers. The man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the
Reading the whole book without skipping is not an option.
in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge.
Hold on, why is the man from Heimdall doing any of this?
All aboard for slaughter and glory.
Past a section detailing an elaborate of many toasts, as
Nope.
well as
Harry
a long
Duval
and
gives no
perilous journey
shit.
From Hrothgar's
Harry's
keep
here for the
to
tits and the
ancient
gore.
forest of Yesdor, where our heroes infiltrate the Nakthera's
Oh, I wonder if you said,
horde.
why is the man from Helmdall doing all this if you didn't skip?
Oh.
If we're like, yeah, slaughter and glory.
In the center of the Great Hall.
But that is also
stands a
completely
black
in
altar.
character for
It
Harry.
is
as
extremely.
as we're doing Harry.
Are
I guess you could also
the
play Harry as like a
shrieking
nebbish
peasant
dweeb
and
who
unholy
asks way
rite
too many
that
questions and
empowers
annoys
the
people.
Nectera
Yes.
of forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the
You can play him
Nectera's
as like someone
attention
who says,
to
well,
a pair of
actually.
cloaked figures standing.
Yeah,
in the
the
doorway.
expression pose does work for this scene specifically.
This is what you came for, isn't it? A climatic bloodletting, where men are reduced to muscle and fury. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks, and unsheathe glimmering northern steel, hits the man from Heimdall and his valiant blood brother.
Whoa! I did not
Tybalt.
see that coming!
In an instant, the Nectera summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids.
Oh my
who
God,
rush our
orcanoids.
heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying.
I thought that meant asteroids for a second there.
Orcanoid viscera. When the din of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall and Tyrabal remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nectera. The man from Heimdall's soda-like blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee.
Cut him up,
Him
Heimdall
down,
man!
man.
He probably is, but you can't be sure, cause this one ends in a cliffhanger and a footnote saying, to be continued in Heimdallaman at the gates of tomorrow. Coming soon to your local bookstore.
Damn.
Considering the sheer amount of different Heimdallaman books out there, it's very unlikely you're ever gonna find the sequel.
Damn.
The man from Heimdall stares at you on the cover, his face fixed in grim resolve.
So that accelerated by like an hour and
Yeah,
a
that
half?
was a pretty good. Alright, so time for
Devil Woman.
Devil Woman.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Heimdall man.
What's the back cover say?
The jacket copy proclaims, Man from Heimdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble
No!
Tyribald. Before Man from Heimdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked
I guess.
queen rules supreme. Will Man from Heimdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend?
Also, yeah, this is definitely starting to sound like an H. Rider Haggard
Yeah,
novel.
time to flip through the book.
Open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38.
Oh.
Oh shit, gritty and heroic.
Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Heimdalla tribe. From the village of Heimdall, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name.
Give me more.
Man from Heimdall
no, I'm sorry, not H.
rides
Rider
on a
Haggard.
gilded
Robert Howard.
griffin,
I
his
got
golden
that mixed
mane
up.
billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself?
Onward!
The steel muscles of Man from Heimdall gleam in the humid jungle air. Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid Northlands he calls home.
Holy shit, this is so me.
Really
Get
getting into the book.
A passage reads, The man from Heimdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne. Do not try to sap my masculine essence with your interests. Son of Heimdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles. Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will. Brothers of Heimdall, stand above the vices of flesh.
So,
Man
he-
from Heimdall is a vol
and
cell.
corruptible, yet mine
Or
is forged
is he in
gold
Noble
and
Tyrabal?
strife.
Oh.
An
Queen
item.
Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says,
I think Tyrabal
Is
and the
Tyrabal
man
get-
from Helmdall are gonna get
I
together.
have grand plans for you, man from Heimdall. She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. First, you shall please me. Then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of the man from Heimdall. Yet inside, there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct.
Wow, this is
Epic.
epic.
In the final pages, man from Heimdall mounts Galavarin, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyrabal. To find out what happens next, you'll have to pick up Man from Heimdall and the Three-Eyed Skull.
No!
Available in fine bookstores everywhere.
Damn it!
Spring 39.
I don't even have $9 for the next installment.
You don't even have $20 for tomorrow's rent.
That's a tomorrow Harry Dubois problem.
That's
The man from Helmdall needs to find Tyrabal today.
That's future Harry's problem.
So I'm betting we can, if we needed to pass time, and we kind of do, that we could do this.
The man from Heimdall, you know the story by heart
Oh.
at this point.
Dang.
Nothing new or remarkable.
Yeah,
the
but
back blurb reads, below, in smaller font,
Okay,
you
yeah.
see the pyramid.
But I noticed that, like, reading that accelerated time by, like,
Dramatically.
about 15 minutes per choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cut through
Reading
about...
past the time
You just
quicker,
cut
yep.
through about 3 hours there.
Oh, and what a 3 hours it was. I'm really sad that we have not developed an idea about the man from Helmdall.
Maybe if you find one of the right books. Please don't tell me you're going to talk to us.
No,
you're
I was
talk
gonna try and... I don't know. We could talk to the scab leader.
That seems unwise.
It does seem unwise.
Physical instrument or not, he is still much bigger than you. It worked out for Measurehead, but, like, I don't know. Could you have that luck twice?
I mean, 3 times really, if you think
Yeah.
about the race lorry driver.
I mean, go for it if you want to.
You would have unlocked Make it their own way. Fuck. No, we really shouldn't, huh? That guy is armed. That guy has a gun.
He has a machine gun, yeah, somewhere.
That guy... Alright. Other things. Or some... Oh, these are...
These are all quite hard.
We're not doing the Measurehead one, because that's like, subscribe to his ideology, which, nope.
No.
Oh, our ledger. Our damaged ledger could be interesting.
It's still in our inventory, right?
Yeah.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of paper. Oh, and the cool piece of toilet paper is stuck to the back.
Let's go for it.
It's proven to
Damn
be
it.
harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
We'll never have the intellectual rigor.
I doubt it.
Oh, wait, I do have $9. I really want to get another Man from Helmdall book.
I mean, go ahead if you want. You're the one playing.
It's a really bad idea.
Most of Harry Dubois' head is bad ideas.
That's, you know what? That's true.
It's nothing if not expected.
Let's look at the other things in the bookstore.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more fun literature parodies around here.
Sports. Have I told you that I have a coach? And their name is Coach Physical Instrument? There's also that.
Yeah.
What do we got?
These shelves are overburdened with books from the
Oh,
same
it's Dick
series.
Mullen.
Dick Mullen.
You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers.
Is it?
These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure thing.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless
Dick.
Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen.
Dick Mullen dies?
Oh no. Turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Are there any more?
Yes. There's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must
become the murderer.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Who is Dick Mullen?
Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by.
Maybe if you ask the search.
Pulsating just out of reach.
So it's crime fiction.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down.
You have no idea how toxic that last sentence you said was.
Oh, God.
Or maybe you do.
Or maybe, yeah.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star.
Anti-Star?
He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Jesus. Wow.
Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
I bought 2 books from you.
I already bought 2 books.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Ooh.
There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
How does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything.
Oof.
So it's a quack book.
Kim, yeah, especially this, to what is gotta be killing Kim.
Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it?
Interesting.
Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
Litter is right.
Yeah.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
What?
What?
That's the most insane thing that's ever been said. I'm going in your back room.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a parody of The Secret, or
Yeah.
like a mindfulness book.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Hand closed around the turn.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're dumb if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences.
Now I gotta.
It's too dangerous.
Now, oh my god.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
I must investigate beyond the threshold. This is about the curse?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
I sense this place calling for me.
You do? My god, even more reason not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
You can't stop me!
I'll open them!
Cross the plane!
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
I am extreme! I'm gonna do a kickflip!
Rip them open, we say.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you,
apart this time
as if
for real.
taunting you. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Yo! I
Alright,
gotta
fine.
know. Flashlight on. I was gonna say Hardy Boys engaged, but this game has already taken that from us.
Alright.
Oh!
Ominous. Hair dryers?
Oh, those are like protection talismans, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like Sinchafada.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
Physical.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's pain threshold.
It doesn't matter. We're so good at this.
Knock on the door?
Maybe I should break down, but not before I strategize. Knock on the door.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Break it is.
Should I strategize or just go for it?
What would you even strategize
Dun,
about?
dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
What? Harry!
Yeah!
Oh, fuck.
Go, Harry, go!
Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt? Walk it off, son. Stop wriggling like a maggot. It's nothing to worry about.
Is it blood I'm seeing?
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
What going on there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits, or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, covered in dozens of little charms and trinkets.
Strategy.
That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed.
All right.
Okay.
Posture.
Steady breathing. Solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram.
Check
The
surroundings.
room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish. But the path to the door is clear.
And what about the door?
It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
Unless it's like bricks behind it.
We got this. We got this.
All right,
Here we go. Kool-Aid Man Harry Dubois, engage. What? No, but I bet it opened the door.
Oh.
You smash into the wood and see
Yeah.
a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Fuck the system. Fuck, it hurts. Oh, you have to do one.
You have to smash something. Yo, fuck the system.
Fuck the system.
I'm gonna smoke 5 blunts and watch anime.
Break on through to the other side. Yeah.
Jesus, Harry, that looked like it really hurt.
Go off, Harry Dubois.
Bent metal. Broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer.
The
bane
bane of inanimate.
Yeah, rip shit apart.
Gaze upon me, stuff and despair.
Kudos.
Anti-object
Task Force. Hell yes, we are researching anti-object task force.
Oh my god, are you
We don't even have a slot for it, but we can. What does it even do? -2 pain threshold. It hurts.
See those little scars? This is Exhibit A. The material world is holding you back. Containers, mailboxes, doors, chairs. They are all your enemies. Always have been. Atoms themselves are in on the conspiracy, forming shapes and structures that you hate. You are energy stuck in a body. You are a spirit trapped in matter. Break theory. Beat up that lamppost. Let it know just how much objects suck.
Instead of brain, there is pain threshold.
Kim?
What is this place?
It's
the nether.
Looks like a gym to me.
Looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
There's a reason why nobody's been here for
Yes,
ages.
because it's closed.
Thank you,
No
Kim.
need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
I mean, there could be clues about the case in here, so...
Oh, there's okay. First off, is that a shot put wall?
Barbell? Yes, it is.
Holy shit! It's worth 13.
To who?
Fuck yeah, to the pawn shop.
Oh, alright.
I bet.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. The sight of these weights.
Physical instrument. Jesus Christ. No one is even watching except Kim.
Why does it feel so familiar?
We're doing it.
Sure.
Yes. No problem for Harry Dubois.
What?
Oh shit.
Harry, did you realize
Conjuring
something?
up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game.
This is one where we say nothing. We revel in the feeling.
Healed morale.
Yes. Kim, you got anything to
A
say to
warm
that?
wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to.
Harry, in clear withdrawal of alcohol and probably speed just lifted over 120 like closer to like 140 pounds over his head.
Hey, but you're still in the ghost house. What if someone heard this? What if they know you're here?
Fuck them. I can lift.
Then I'll lift them too.
I've never seen anyone play as Meathead. This fucking... And I'm... Like, if somebody is a racist, you can just punch them, though.
Just club his
We don't
head.
have to give a shit what people think.
Good technique.
Is this familiar because I'm a
Weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat,
Oh, a
and
wrestler.
the whistle. Then the feeling is gone.
Or high school
It's
gym
just
class.
a memory from another life, when you were young and fit.
But you are fit.
We're
Harry.
so fucking
You're incredibly
fit.
fit for your age.
I lifted 60 kilograms in like a jerk.
Harry, you're like pushing 50 and you can lift a 60k weight over your head.
I'm gonna punch this. Oh, okay, I wanted to punch that thing fucking
it's
off
it's not in shape.
off the chain. Fuck yeah, Harry Dubois. Oh shit, Darren Sharp.
Harry Dubois, the hardest hitting detective in the precinct.
I put Revachol on my back though. Okay, yo.
Alright, haunted house. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Oh, I hate taxidermy.
Full of strange liquid.
Demi-John?
Yeah, have a good one. And yeah, no worries. But thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for coming.
Hopefully, I'm saving all the VODs, so later if you play this, hopefully all of Meathead will be recorded and available.
Also, airship propellers?
Yeah. Art mannequins? I can never get poses
Is this
right.
some kind of fucked up artist's house? Abandoned? Blue velvet. Baby wants it.
Strange yellow color.
L'Oreal. Those windows in the back? Or, oh no, chalkboards.
Where are the clothes that used to display? That's a good question.
What? Elves?
I know what this is. I know what this is.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural.
This is...
Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Is it LARP?
This I'm 90% sure this is a LARP session for that D&D game that she sells but hates.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Oh no, it's sidereal confluence.
Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
This is important.
This is
It's
important.
Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Are they real? I have so many
One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Is that the most infliction Kim has had?
Well, he did also get really excited that you were going to name the case something normal and sensical.
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Kim,
Well, this has been educational.
Kim has definitely built a world for a D&D game.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Kim,
god.
Kim, are you actually
Kim
into
is
this?
so into this. Kim. We're gonna buy him D&D. We're buying Kim D&D.
Well, first we gotta pawn the shot put ball.
Hey,
These
no,
large
Kim.
treasures, who are all those creatures? One of the Welkins, towering among the rest. It's the hull door.
We
An
did the
inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welking creatures. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
dang.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Kim.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
It's a game development studio?
Yes. It has to be. I don't know what GPI daily.
So much pain. Back pain, neck pain, headaches, carpal tunnel, chest pain.
Anxiety.
No gym membership can make up for working in this manner.
Oh, it's crunch.
Oh.
Pain threshold felt the crunch.
Keep
As
reading.
time goes on, the numbers
Project
in the boxes
Dread.
grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
It's the first draft of Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren icy
Location
landscapes
scouting.
wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much needed respite from our own world.
Okay.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Isn't that
The D&D game, yeah.
No, but like, isn't that also the premise of, who are they? Arcane's? Isn't that the premise of Arcane's first game? Where the sun goes out and people live underground as fantasy people go underground?
Oh.
The handwriting is
Noxiturnum
only
or something it's
partly
called.
legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
So it's cursed because a game dev happened here and shuddered. We looked at everything.
Game dev folded here. The Curse of Crunch. That was the second.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look at it.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Do you think I should turn it on?
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central
I
compartment
like the sound of
is
it.
Yeah.
wide open.
Look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Yeah, so it won't work, but we can try it anyway.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Tiles on the cube are nothing happen. Nothing happens.
Fair enough.
Need the memory to be inside the machine first.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems.
Hello.
Oh.
UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Think there's something medical here?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like.
What?
Huh.
There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious they tried to
Kim!
Oh my god.
Oh, Kim! Why do you say that?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
My god. There's another...
Oh, Kim's got something to say. Kim.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's like an undercover counterintelligence. It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell are they making? This feels correct.
That feels
Yes,
correct.
that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness. It's a compliment.
Has anyone ever done this
Before? Also, radio computers.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
How are they playing
Through
that?
call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
You know all about
Yes.
You know all about hooking, don't you? Electrochemistry.
Electrochemistry, if you're going to help us find Kim's Turbo Nerd origins, I'm so here for it. And this is a role-playing game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death
thrown in.
Man. What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
They probably went broke.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
Let's finish it.
Let's finish
it's
it.
too late for that, I'm afraid.
A half smile. Kim wants to work on this board game.
Okay, let's keep moving.
There's no way that's the end of this plot point.
No, Kim.
There's a door? Or
Oh, yeah.
another square here? Developers of the most advanced
Advanced
RPG
RPG.
in the universe. That's a door?
Yeah, up there.
Yeah.
Kim, this is the best use of day 2 anyone has ever had.
Oh.
Oh, we're still going?
How deep is this thing?
We're still in the commercial.
Magnesium. Polar bear?
What the fuck? Fuck!
It's a polar bear branded fridge?
We found a fridge! We could have put the body in the polar bear!
Why is it shaped? What the fuck is this shaped like a polar bear? Why does it have murder eyes?
JD, if that fridge was commercially available and we got a place that didn't have a fridge, I would get that fridge. Also, hi, quiet.
Do you really think someone would do that? Just call in on the radio and tell lies.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
Oh my
This
God.
ice bear is a hyper-carnivore. Be careful.
Oh my god, what if there's already a body in there?
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim, it's a fridge.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
Kim, you're kind of a dick.
Let's take a look inside.
Yeah.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Oh, that's one of the bankrupt businesses on the,
Yeah.
the outside of the other, that has the mail, what's it called? No,
You
call
pocket
box.
the
Call
note
box.
and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Yeah.
Ice cream wrappers.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first
Good
place?
question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Does it?
Not really.
It
What I would,
doesn't?
not my first
Somewhere
guess.
in the past, it's summer. 5-year-old Fifette lets go of her mother's hand, change jingling in her pockets as she hops towards the ice cream stand, right across the
Okay,
plaza.
is that shivers or is that brain freeze?
As she makes her way to the market stall, the girl starts crying. A ferocious ice bear is guarding the fridge, its paws raised to ward off any potential customers. Her mother rushes to soothe her, but Fifette doesn't want ice cream anymore. She just wants to go home. The ice bear stares at them as they leave the plaza. A gust of wind flies one of the wrappers right past the sobbing girl.
I can't imagine why it didn't sell
Why
well.
did this business not go well?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
What? Oh,
Yeah, because it's working.
it's still on, yeah.
The fridge buzzes with energy.
We
The electricity
Just
bill on
believe
this thing must be
must
catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
The real shame.
They're already sunk.
We could have put the body in here. Kim, I don't know about you, but I'm having the best day ever.
Is it oven? More fridges. An ice cream maker.
There's a hidden doorway here. I see rifles.
Look inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
There's a hole in this
There
wall.
is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I
Your
do.
hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean, a rifle here? I mean, I know it's the revolution, right?
This is a revolution hideout.
Yeah.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Busted guns.
Just a pile of guns hidden here, away from prying eyes.
Okay.
Still running?
Still running?
What?
Yo, what the fuck? This place rules. I'm gonna go back for some of that other shit. I figured for sure that that was the way out, but clearly there's a lot going on here.
Is it a mixer or an oven or what?
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Well, let's
It's
look inside.
dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice, or several voices, talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
I think I hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Alright. Gotta figure out how to get through this place first.
Well, this would be upstairs.
Well, no, I mean, like, no, there's still more to explore down there.
Yeah, I guess.
Or there's another staircase.
It's gonna be Kuno. You found Kuno's ice cream parlor!
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Don't really have a reason to turn any of those off. Okay, there are more stairs. Insane mesh tank top. Oh.
Can we go back in now? Fuck yeah, we can. You know, for all the ridiculous non-related stuff that this has involved, I've noticed that Kim, once we got to game dev land, was suspiciously silent about how not relevant this was.
Urban exploration here in Martinez.
Oh man, now we gotta go find. What are you doing? Can you hear someone talking? Wait, fuck, really?
Even further upstairs.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably came from here.
Knock,
What
knock.
an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on here.
Also, it might be prudent to take a shot of Nosafet.
Yeah, probably.
You do have the extras.
Yeah, Lord knows we have enough.
Some more? La Delta 51? Okay.
Melting snow.
So it's fresh.
And that bird sound was definitely like a signal.
Yeah.
Is this MS Atelier? Alright. So, yeah. Back to the graveyard of dead businesses. Is this okay.
So are the hair salon and the gym and the game dev studio also on the call box?
I think so.
Is this one building just a mausoleum to Capital?
I think that's kind of the impression.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop.
Sometimes it's necessary to resort to extreme measures.
I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape.
You're talking about just a door.
Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
I thought the curse wasn't real.
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman.
No, that was maybe you said the curse wasn't real.
All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do.
Yes.
Her facade has dropped. Now you see the curiosity behind the fear.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant
Malignant
entity?
entity.
Of course, the entity. I didn't see it.
Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her.
The chimney that's part of the...
I have different ideas about who that woman could be.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there.
Sniping, I bet.
Yeah.
Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do.
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery too.
Yeah.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin. And bankruptcy.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Annette mentioned, yeah.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
So I had a thought.
Yeah? We haven't saved in a while.
Well, yes, we should also do that too. But if it turns out that we can't get into the shutters just by banging on them or whatever.
Look at that door. Look what I did to that fucking thing.
Look what Harry did to that door. If we can also find the dial key for the multi-radio, we might be able to reach her that way.
Yeah.
And convince her to come out.
But first, the Harry...
Also, there was some other stuff in this room that I think you didn't reach.
Is there?
No, further on.
Ah, yes.
Production schedule filament.
Oh, shit! We gotta take that to the game dev thing.
Steel rotor blades. Slipstream. Yeah, this is Slipstream AC. Oh no, Slipstream is the ski place.
No, or is it? Wait, was Slipstream the... Because then if we called in on the weird intercom, that it being weird and supernatural, because it could be the game radio.
But if... No, because that was Tricentennial Electrics.
Was it?
Yeah, because remember it's mislabeled. You call Slipstream, but you think it's but the Tricentennial Electrics picks up.
Oh yeah.
Either way, we should see what this does.
Tiles on the cube are still
Insert a
smoldering,
production schedule.
casting the framework in a soft glow. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader.
What?
What? A number station?
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
Yes, I guess it's labeled so.
Yes?
Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
No. Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why'd you call me Fortress?
Fortress accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Hey, got any information about this company?
One moment.
This is not what I expected.
Isn't East Insulindia on like the other side of the world?
Think so?
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
And what is this interactive call-in radio?
Any other questions?
Are you...
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the
So,
cube are
not a
still
ghost, but
smoldering,
might as
casting
well
the
be.
framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
I guess we could take it with us, but...
Remove the production schedule. Maybe another machine will show up
The
and you can use
filament
it somewhere else.
slides out of its glowing nest.
Also, if we desperately need money,
Can we look at the... Maybe they were insane enough to have written it down on the whiteboard?
Oh, we never looked at the fridge note.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
He leans over.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Sure.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the offsite copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Why does it have to be frozen? Isn't it a machine part?
I have no idea.
No, they're liquid in this universe, aren't they? Data's stored on liquid tape.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's why Kim keeps mentioning that his photo was taken recently, because it'll decay eventually.
Oh, wow. Oh, we know who the...
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
We did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If we needed to. Cubic crystals of filaments.
Filaments feels oddly fragile. Silver tape on the side reads, production schedule. Note, this filament contains information that can be read using the radio computer.
Man, I like this weird tech.
Yeah. This is also really similar to something that happens in Kentucky Route Zero.
Okay.
Yeah. Not quite the same, not nearly so detailed in that game, but it's close.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Try to crack
You
open the
slip
lid.
your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
Good thing we have one of
If you want
those.
to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Yes, I know, hand-eye coordination.
We got it. Tools, pry bar. Thank you for bringing this along, Kim.
It's a good thing.
This orange machine is buzzing
What?
like an old submarine. It has
Pry
a
bar not
hand-cranked
strong
ice
enough,
cream
minus
churner on
20.
top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Odd, but...
The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge.
What is
You
this?
see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Like a blowtorch?
Advanced? Where do we get one?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough.
Alright.
Then we will know
No.
what's in this mysterious ice cream maker. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur.
An
What
entrepreneur.
better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar?
Fucking mood, electrochemistry.
Yeah. And we could
I suppose turning it off will... Well, no, that
will
will...
thaw it over time.
Yeah, but that might also decay the data
That's-
tape
that's
inside.
my thing, yeah, I don't wanna-
That's a trap, huh?
Oh wait, no, it wasn't this upstairs. Or no, it was up this upstairs, wasn't it?
What?
To go to the witch's house.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess she works far away in some call center to help GM the game that shouldn't exist.
Code repeater is...
But
Code repeater is a thing that they used to have in, like, the telegraph days when signal strength wasn't very good.
yeah. Let's go.
You don't really need that anymore. A machine can do it.
As before, an iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voice...
Story recap.
Oh! Alright.
And it's time for...
Story recap. Oh, that's the wrong button. What?
What? Oh, it's also the zoom out button, apparently.
Oh. What button did I make it? Hi, Praline.
I'll be right back.
How did I make it? That's not the button.
That's not great. That's terrible.
Delete. Oh, okay, hang on. I'll come back. I'll wait for you for the story recap. Plus, it gives me time to think of how to do this. It's been a while since I've done a story recap. And by that, I mean it's never been redeemed before. Are you ready for a story recap? Oh shit! Thank you for the subscription. Anyway, time to talk about the story. The only way I know how.
Go ahead.
It was the year 51. We'd been on the murder case for a day and a half now. I had to get money, but I wasn't going to get a job for it. Fortunately, some lady gave me $130. I used some of it to buy books that I found in the bookstore. It was about the Helm Man and the Devil Woman. But TBH, all women are devil women if you ask me. Certainly all the ones I've interacted with, at least the ones that aren't robots. We came to an abandoned ice cream factory too. It had a scary bear in it. That also reminds me of all the women in my life. I'm terribly misogynistic. It also reminded me of a missing case, and by that I mean the case that's my actual fucking job to solve. Which we've also
That's not great. That's terrible.
We broke into a door in the mysterious bookcase, in the mysterious bookstore. It took a lot of running with effort. Moving effort. Fuck, it's been a long time since I've been Alex Yick. We found the graveyard of a bunch of abandoned businesses, none of which I would have worked at even if they were still hiring and still functional, except for maybe the game studio. But I would have written a better game than the one that they made. They made a crappy game. I would have made a good game, like Chrono Trigger, or Ark the Lad, or Lufia 2, the holy grail of my youth, which was only like 3 years ago.
Now we will say that, as bad as Yick is, it did come out for Radio Computer, and this game didn't.
It's basically Satellaview. I would make my world game would have a lot more cool people. Anyway, we put a filament into a thing that I pretty much assumed was just a projector, and we got a call from a lady. Or maybe it was an Onism 1999 thing. We're gonna have to go back and check on it later. We also found a mysterious ice cream fridge, which we can't open because my crowbar isn't good enough. I'm going to need to go to Flagtown and ask around if anyone's seen the Mystical Ultima LP crowbar. Maybe that's the difference between a crowbar and a pry bar. A crowbar is simply the more advanced pry bar. We're basically...
Pry bar 2.
We're trying to wait until we can find the very beautiful smoking man at 9 p.m. at night. I probably have something very horrible to say about that. But frankly, I don't even want to touch that one.
It's 5 p.m. on day 2.
Kim is also interested in the pretend radio video game that we have found, which maybe failed and maybe didn't. The Y in pry bar stands for Yick. Is there anything else that we need to cover?
I think you got most of it. Yeah.
We talked to Joyce, who at least is helpful for somebody who isn't two-part epoxy resin. Anyway. Now we're trying to go upstairs and break into this house because we heard shouting from a chimney. It's probably a special forces person based on what we know. But that doesn't scare me because I have a preposterous 9 in physical instrument and could literally destroy the earth and all the heavens. I hope that was worth the money. It's one of those things that in the moment of doing Yick, I was so fucking... in tune with Alex Yick, and now I'm realizing it's been a long time, actually. It's been a long time since we... When did we do that? 2019?
2019, toward the end of 2019.
Huh. I'm glad.
That was in the middle of Friday Night Flash.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, and now Flash doesn't work anymore.
Has anyone here seen the Yick Direct besides me that happened like a couple months ago? Or is that just me?
I did get a Flashpoint, the collection, just to see how it stacks up. And I feel like I've talked about this on stream before, but like... Sure, go ahead. Talk about
Okay, we got to talk about the Yick Direct, and we'll do it here. We'll do it with this one, but normal voice. The developers of Axe Studio, I just want to be clear. For all of the terrible things in Y2K, a postmodern RPG, and what that game is, and the way that it's like a failure on every conceivable level, I think it's worth noting that they haven't... It's not for lack of effort. And that they have actually continued to try. So, like, a few months back, they did a direct. They called it a direct. Because now everyone does that. But they basically showed off, some story overhaul things, a significant number of cutscene overhauls, and also have apparently entirely reworked the combat engine. And it certainly looked better. And some of the ideas they had were interesting. I know at one point, and I don't know if this is live yet or not, they were reworking the plot of the Golden Alpaca fight to be not quite so insane. Yeah, the shirt! The shirt is the best part! Yeah! Woo! So, they did like an hour and a half of just showing all of the changes they've made, and like, it looks earnestly better. It does earnestly look a lot better than it was. I don't know if it's enough, and like, it might... And either way, it's probably for me too little too late, other than I have a friend who maybe wants to stream it, and it's like, okay, maybe I gotta go back. We have to go back, Kate. Yeah. Well, it's weird. Yick is kind of video games The Room, to me, which is interesting, in that it's clearly... It's not bad on one level. It's not a game that's a mess because of it was badly coded or it was badly written.
And it's not completely unsalvageable trash like an asset flip.
It's something that somebody loved and worked on and worked hard on and put a lot of themselves into it, but every aspect is just wrong. A little bit wrong.
Like, exactly wrong enough.
I think you put it best, every single aspect of that game is a 5 out of 10. There is no... oh, it's good here. It's not like, it's not Phantom Dust, where everything is great, but the combat and the bosses especially are really shoddy. It's, like, it's all a little bit off. I just remembered something. Is this? No, that's the way up. Basically. Also, at the end of the game, the pro tag of their earlier game bitches about how not popular they were, and it's really
Thick
fucking
layer
whiny
of
and
coal
funny.
dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Yell hello into the furnace!
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then...
So that's a good way to put it, is the bastard child of Motherbound likes. But also, like, it's just one of those things that, like, it's somebody who liked playing Earthbound but couldn't distill down what they liked properly. I think that game makes the point of you shouldn't seek to be the masters. You should seek what those masters sought. And I feel like that's the problem with Y2K, is it tries to be Earthbound instead of trying to capture what Earthbound was trying to be, is probably the way to put it.
Hello?
Yes.
You've awakened the entity.
I summon the ghost of this doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit. Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
Hell yeah.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
You know, I'm really surprised it was that easy.
After you, officer.
That's how I was like, wait. Well, I thought it was going to be we were going to climb up there, and that was going to be the physical instrument check, but I'll take physical instrument for primal shouting. Some of our best checks have been primal shouting with physical. I need money! The fact that we're so buff we can just scream how badly we need money and people will give it to us is pretty fucking incredible.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Polyhedral dice.
Yes, 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 yes! Game dev!
Thousands of dice.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Hello, I'm Nia.
Oh.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
Hold on, what do you mean by Milius?
Yes, a Milia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
I wasn't knocking on the window. Or, why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light.
But her hands strong. No, I was looking for something else. Answers. I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly.
How strange. Well, if you're interested, my rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
The only person in town who might.
Yeah. How'd you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition.
Jewelry is an unfocused field?
I guess?
She doesn't let it show, but there's anger in there.
Ah!
She doesn't like jewelers. Thinks they're a mob.
Okay, yeah.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Do I should probably, right?
Sure.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body?
We do.
With a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook.
Yes,
Then
that's
the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
I mean, I know the answer to it.
Well, There's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
Yeah.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it. And I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see.
Never. She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Where are we?
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
The world. We are
Tell
all
me
another-
about your most extraordinary die.
A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure?
And superstars don't care about money.
What does that mean? I'm so super.
Alright, maybe some other die then.
Do you have any cursed dice?
What do you mean by cursed?
As in this commercial area?
Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
Deal.
Deal.
Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
Where are we anyway?
What's this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
I have no idea if the dice become a mechanic, but I do want to set up cursed dice.
What if you get an extra? What if you roll that die instead of the 2 dice?
I hope. Yo, but what if though? What if I could roll
Plaisance was
d20?
right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Did you know that people call this the Doom commercial?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Swarming.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow?
The curse is just biding its time.
Explode her own daughter to keep the company going.
Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in Rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on, the Whirling Rag is part of the Doom commercial area?
This waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying bills. Okay, no, that's your problem, Harry.
You're right, the Whirling doesn't really look like it's cursed.
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Mood.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demon.
Mood! You're the source of it. You're confident, dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people like you.
Oh, yes, it does.
I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies with the so-called
I
curse.
was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
The jig is up.
The
she knows you've uncovered her true identity.
Half-light.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Honestly, I'm still not sure. This world is a puzzling place. Yeah.
Is it now? I've always thought it's a rather mundane and boring place with no supernatural surprises in sight. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, let me know.
Report. Okay.
Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
Shivers 14.
Wow. Why hasn't her business failed?
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
There's no non-curse answer. I think I know how your business. The curse is real.
That no, 2 is kind of a non-curse answer.
So the shells rattle as though agitated.
Didn't we already talk about this?
This isn't technically the doomed commercial area.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
This used to be a coal plant. You're in the chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
It has a different address in the heart of the city.
And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
No one's ever
Never really safe from failure.
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
What?
Do you know what this is?
Lucky charm?
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
I bet you didn't run this little jewelry shop from the projective depths of a chimney.
It wasn't just a jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
Don't call it a dump. You made it nice and cozy here. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. It's entropy. That's the TJ answer. Yes, coincidence is all that safeguards us.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it.
Your clothes never wear as well the next day. And your hair never falls in quite the same way.
That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending, or an entirely different world. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
Do you know what happened to other tenants?
Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
The game people.
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw 2 of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
I mean liberal, what happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
The project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic. And to show up to work on time.
That's also important.
That's, yeah.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult. especially if you've been drinking.
Showing off one more time is incredibly hard. It's too bad. I was supportive of him. That project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
What happened in the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs. A community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
He's sort of the king around here.
Indeed. Who is Kuno?
Your guess is as good as mine. He's a little...
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Yeah, probably.
That's true.
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Judging from the kids I met so far, it didn't really work. How'd that work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Someone here makes stuffed animals?
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Oh.
But what drugs exactly?
Let it
Let
pass.
it pass.
Anything else?
What creepy
There
mannequins.
used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know
insects had rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Fur is murder.
Glad someone took care of the little guys. I like insects.
Really? Anyway.
It's cool. It's the rotor
They were
blades.
made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
What do these
The
transmissions
usual,
say?
I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house.
Ask him at the
Not
intercom.
much use now, I guess.
Looks like-
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
Strange thing happened. I tried to call. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman?
Tricentennial Electric.
Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
No.
No.
It was something else. It was eerie. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit
Something
that it was a harmless
eerie.
prank.
Pranks can be eerie. The kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
So East Delta
Right.
Pinball.
It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick track, especially pinball.
Pinball is not a fad.
Pinball is the worst.
Pinball is
Kim?
just arbitrary hatred of pinball.
Kim. Fuck off, Kim.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
It's part of the same
You
building?
could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the doomed commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
We have to tell Gart.
Sure, I'm listening.
Found a terrifying taxidermy bear in the
Oh
cell.
boy, the fabled Revo Show ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Alright, what about their other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritta does the same thing.
I'm surprised they showed up to work at all.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear.
The bear.
What about the bear?
The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishell ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular
Regular fridges.
Felt scary.
I'm sure the bear was doing its best.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants.
Desiccants?
Megatherian.
Scary.
But cool.
Cool.
It's a
It's
vision
an
beast.
imaginary beast that guides you through life. By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
I don't ever comment on drugs.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all.
It's not what I said.
Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps?
Yes.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
Experimenting. Customers should be more. I'm a simple man. I don't really have opinions on stuff.
Because you're stuck in the mullet, Harry.
Yeah.
Me neither. I just want it off my face.
Valid. Broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong?
I think it does mean desiccant do not eat quiet, like the silica packets.
Yeah.
Turns out The business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
What's a snuff milieu?
Yeah, don't. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Alright. Maybe finish off by going and explaining to...
Explain to Gart that his business is cursed.
Well, and explaining what we found, our findings to, what's her name?
Plaisance?
Plaisance, yeah. Is that down? Yeah, and then back through. Okay. And we need the password.
That'll turn up.
Yeah.
As will some tool to open the icebox.
Mm-hmm. When I benched that. Alright. Finally took health damage busting down that door. And in 8 hours we'll have a cool die.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Talk to the entity.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
I felt her aura. She's not the one to blame for curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
So as the taxidermist shot brought the void spirits down on the place.
Another entity, more malignant.
Perhaps my trials all cross paths with it. I kind of feel like it's this one.
I think that is the truth, though.
That's what I'm saying.
A third order presence, yes. I've heard of these triactors.
Yes.
In certain occult literature that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in public. I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes. The venture
continues
in other waters.
Darker waters.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
I like Kim.
The shop around you feels ancient suddenly, damp and saturated by the coastal air. The books are rotting. A great cold lives here, and there, too, 1,200 meters away on the urban coast. The dark shape of a church is reflected on the water, calling.
That's not very far away at all.
No, it's not.
You want to level up and then sun off for the day?
Yeah. So, things we could do. We didn't read this. Seems like the point of the game is victory. The absence of defeat on all fronts. Victory in business ventures and creative undertakings. Victory in love and other people. Political victory. Ideological victory. Hell, even sexual victory. Definitely a lot of object-based victories, too. Having things and not losing them. One problem, though. Not a lot of victors in sight. Everyone's mostly losing. Why is that? And how do you not lose?
What is the solution? Oh, you can't.
We don't know.
That's a really bad penalty to research Precarious World, though. Look at that. All red checks fail for 4 hours.
Oh my god. That's awful. What's the anti-object pain threshold?
Pain threshold is down, but it's already really high, so...
Yeah,
it's not so bad.
I am the ultimate being. So we could get another thought space, or we can go to the mind map. And get what? Maybe like some drama or volition or hell, composure.
perception actually might be more interesting.
Yeah?
We keep missing out on some details, don't we?
We do.
Or do you want to focus on stuff we already do well?
I mean, the thing we do well, we are pretty focused.
Yeah.
We have a 9. But I could see it going either way. This could be funny for forgeries. This could be funny for lying about forgeries.
Yeah.
Pain threshold has been earnestly very interesting.
Endurance might need some help.
Yeah, how did we... Oh, from damage. But it would normally be up, but... Endurance ain't bad. Half-life? Probably not electrochemistry, right?
I don't think electrochemistry needs any more help. He's been doing fine.
Electrochemistry has been doing fine.
Inland Empire, maybe?
Inland Empire has been really interesting.
It's been vocal, yeah.
Why not?
Sure. Inland Empire is the confidence that you have psychic powers.
Yeah. Kib. Alright. So, I'd say it was a pretty productive session.
Yeah, not in the ways I expected. I was worried that we were going to bump up against a lot of dead ends and have to skip a lot of time.
No, and instead we investigated the curse. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next stream, we have to mention the curse to Gart. Gart's gonna hate it, but you know, fuck him. He needs to know.
It's urgent.
It's urgent. Spider bite you, hurt. Alright, let's find a raid target.
Pain threshold. God forbid, bite you.
Spider bite you, hurt. Get a raid going. The entity is capitalism. If that was an answer we could have said, I would have absolutely said it, just for the record. It was not an option. Ooh, a charity stream from Shakespeare. Yeah, and thanks for stopping by, Mackay. And Praline, and Quiet, and Mimi, and all the folks. Connie, too. I know Connie isn't here. Hope y'all have a good night, especially in these times. Have a good one. See y'all next time.